People are trying to clown Shedeur Sanders for doing this, label him as obnoxious, lame, not humble, no sportsmanship, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, number one, you've never played a sport in your life, and number two, you're probably eating cheesy puffs on your couch. Believe me when I say this, I want to do the Arizona State and Colorado recap video because I got a lot to say about it, because Deion Sanders had a lot to say about it, but we got to talk about this first. So more than likely, we'll do the recap video either tonight or Tuesday, promise. But for now at least, we got to focus on something that did happen during the game, and it's got everybody talking. I'm sure many of you may have or may have not seen this already. It's going viral all over Instagram and Twitter. And how do I put this? Well, I'm just going to come out and say it. Shedeur Sanders is getting clowned. People are laughing at him. They think he's too cocky. They think he's gone way too far, and I can see where they're coming from. I understand their perspective 10,000%. It doesn't mean I agree with it, but I understand it. And I think the word a lot of these people are using is quote-unquote obnoxious. That probably is a better way to put it. And what Shedeur Sanders did in this Arizona State game after the game was over, yeah, it rubbed people the wrong way. And just like this comment says right here, Shedeur got a lot of people on this app in their feelings. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about or what's going on, after the game, Shedeur Sanders, he went over to the Arizona State student section and did this. Matt wrote a clip.
I'm right here. 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 What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened?
Yep, there we have it. He did the quote-unquote Shedeur, which is where you hold up your, I guess you'd say, arm or wrist and you flex your watch, or in this case and scenario, your imaginary watch. Or did he have it on? I think he did. Oh yeah, he did have it on, so I guess he had the watch on the sideline and he knew before the game. Wow, that's actually interesting. So I'm assuming he knew before the game or at halftime if Colorado were to win, he was going to go over to the student section and do this? I don't know, maybe he always has the watch on the sidelines during the games, but that's really besides the point. The point is he did it. He pulled out the good old Shedeur, which I'm going to state, y'all see my live reactions, I say it all the time, I like it, I'm a fan of it. At the end of the day, you got to understand this, college football is entertainment. And whether you want to admit it or not, the Sanders family, they're all about entertainment. They're some of the most entertaining people out there. Now that you've got some context to our situation here, let's address the aftermath. Of course, this was going to get posted all over social media, and everybody out there, they thought it was a low blow, and they thought it was lame. Nick Hicks stated, "They beat the worst team in the pack, coming from behind. This is wild, LOL. Colorado is cool, but these guys are just not humble at all for some of the ways they lost games." Williams stated, "Kind of lame, honestly." This tweet got over 2 million views. "I like Deion. Shoot, I love Deion. I don't like this, though. You beat a 1-5 bottom feeder Arizona State team by 3 points. Somebody in the comment section said, "Nobody really cares what you like. Go worry about your own team or kids." No, these comments are too funny. I could make a whole video just reading off the comments and replies. Tyler said, "Why didn't he do this against the good teams?" Interesting point. I'll show you one more and I'll give you my 2 cents on all of this. And this probably was the most viral one. It got over 8 million views. Jim Weber stated, "Okay, this is officially getting obnoxious. You're flexing on the Arizona State student section after beating the worst team in the Pac-12? Come on now." All right, that's enough. I think I read enough tweets. Time for old good Matty Matt to give you his 2 cents. You've seen all the tweets I've shown you. They've gone viral. Everybody's saying, "Oh yeah, this is obnoxious. It's lame. You're flexing on a team that's 1-5, blah, blah, blah." You get the point. Do I personally think what Shedeur Sanders is obnoxious, lame, or is it a low blow, any of that? No, not really. And also, let me throw this in there. Do I have a problem with it? Do I think it's kind of not being humble in that category? No, not really. People are trying to clown Shedeur Sanders for doing this, label him as obnoxious, lame, not humble, no sportsmanship, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, number one, you've never played a sport in your life, and number two, you're probably eating cheesy puffs on your couch. If you're honestly butthurt about what Shedeur Sanders did, you need to go find a hobby or do something else with your life. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. I'll share with you real briefly here why I don't have a problem with it, and I hope this gives you a different perspective. Number one, Shedeur Sanders didn't go up to the student section, start talking crazy, start cussing at them, start flipping them off. None of that. He just held up his wrist. That's all he did. Everybody out here acting like he did something crazy when he didn't. He just pulled off his signature move. Reason number 2 as to why I don't have a problem with this whatsoever is because as a former athlete myself when I played sports, I did the same thing to student sections. We would be having a totally different conversation if Shedeur Sanders did this to the Arizona State players or that team or that coaching staff. But he didn't do that. He did it to the student section. And you want to know why he did that? As a former athlete myself who played against student sections, I can guarantee you, and I promise you this, they were saying some, let's just say, not so nice things to him during the game. And if you've ever played sports, you know how ruthless and just cold-hearted those student sections can be. They don't care. Student sections at the high school level or college level do not view you as a regular person. They don't. And I'll share this story with y'all. I remember one time, this isn't even a White Randy football story. This was in basketball. We was playing a really good team, one of the top teams in the state, and they had a really big student section, and they were crazy. And I remember I'm going to inbound the ball, and where I'm inbounding the ball, that's where their student section was sitting, right behind the basketball goal. And they're screaming out F-bombs, this, that. They're saying, Matthew, you effing suck, man, this, that, we're beating you, scoreboard, look at the scoreboard, blah, 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 just crazy stuff I can't even repeat here. And yeah, we were losing in that game by I think it was 8 to 10 points. And all I did was I turned around and held up 3-2 because at that point in the game, I had 32 points. And the scoreboard we was playing on was one of them scoreboards where it shows the players and how many points they have. I remember holding up the 3-2, pointing at the scoreboard and just laughing. And they just sat, they didn't even know what to do. It looked like they saw a ghost. Like, okay, yeah, we're losing, you're right, and you can cuss at me, do this and do that, but I got 32 on your dome. And to tell you the truth, we wound up losing that game, but my point is I've gone back and forth with the student sections multiple times. I was always the most hated player. I was always the guy the student section booed 24/7 from the second I walked into the gym to the second I left. And Shedeur Sanders is in the same exact situation, but on an even higher scale and level. So no, I don't have a problem with it. They were more than likely talking crazy to him all throughout the game, and he just went over and he flexed on him. Who cares? This had nothing to do with Arizona State being 1-4, now 1-5, or the team, or this or that. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with those Arizona State students were talking trash, and he shut them up. But obviously, you have these people out here on the internet that sit on their couch and eat cheesy puffs, seeing this, and like, oh yeah, Shedeur Sanders got no class, man. He's lame. Get out of here, man. Keep eating your cheesy puffs. There's a reason you're on the couch. I don't mind people that have never played sports having an opinion on sports. I don't mind it. But what I do mind is when you start talking on sports and you have no idea what you're talking about. I'll put it this way. If you ain't ever talked trash to an opposing team student section in basketball or football, can you even consider yourself an athlete? I don't think so. Heck, man, that is as normal as it gets for a student athlete. Come on, man. I even remember this story from 7th grade PE class. This is a White Randy story I almost forgot about. It was just a normal Thursday. We went out there for PE class. You know how you have those guys and girls, they don't do anything in PE. They just sit on the bleachers. Yeah, we had I'd say probably 15 or 20 of those people. And we're playing our football game. White Randy's going off. I probably by this point in time had 6 catches for $134. Nothing crazy, a little light day for White Randy. I think my ankle was bothering me too that day. And there was this one guy in the bleachers. He was in the band, so of course he wasn't out there playing football. And he was talking a little trash to me. And I'll be upfront with all of you. It wasn't one of my better days out there. You could call it an off day. And he had the nerve to come up to the sideline and say, man, White Randy, you getting clamped up out there, aren't you? I looked at him. I turned my head. I said, clamped up? What are you talking about? He looked at me and said, you heard me. You can't do nothing today. I didn't even say anything to him. I just laughed and kept playing. We was at, I think, the opponent's 42, went back into the huddle, told the guy, look, screw the play, throw me up a fade route in the corner of the end zone. Quarterback throws up the ball, and as soon as he throws it, he screams out, Waffle House! And that's a different story for a different day, because they used to call me Waffle House Randy, if you don't know why. It's because I was always open. That was just a thing that everybody used to say when the ball was in the air, heading my way. Waffle House! Because even if you were on me, you weren't really on me. I'm always open. But anyways, getting back on track here. I catch the ball. It was an easy catch. Just went up, mossed him with 2 hands. Didn't get flashy. Like I said, I was having a little off day. I could have went up for 1, but I caught it with 2. And by that time, PE class is over. And that guy that was talking trash to me, he's got his back turned. And yeah, he's walking back to class just like we did every single day. And I'm not going to lie, it wasn't a proud moment, but I speared him in the back. He's on the ground crying. He probably don't even really know what happened. I just stepped over him like Allen Iverson and kept on with my day. I really don't even know what happened after that. He didn't come to school with crutches or a back brace on, so I guess he was okay. But the point is, you don't trash talk White Randy. Back then in 7th grade, I had a little temper, but now calm, cool, and collected. Not gonna spear anybody in the back, and that's what I'm saying. Shedeur Sanders, he didn't do any of that. He just flexed his watch, so I respect that. But yeah, we've just completely went off on a rant tangent here. I don't think it's a big deal. Let me know your thoughts down below. But